drink today, man?
You know something? Hey, I'm drunk, Leo. I'm drunk. And you know something? It's beautiful.
What we drinking today, man?
I don't want to get into the particulars, but I know that a bottle of Cavatier and a lady would definitely be involved.
What we drinking today?
Yo, what's good, family? I'm King Napes, Bud, and Hill, and we got a special guest in the building. None other than it is the Hood, Sommelier. I'm talking about the legend himself, the beginning of this game for the culture. You know what I mean? Bow down. There is no greater educator in the community when we talking about spirits in the game, other than our man Hood Sommelier on what we drinking. Brother Hood, hey man, so glad to have you, man. Appreciate you showing up today for this special one, brother.
Appreciate y'all having me over.
Man, hey, 100%, absolutely, man. So, you know, family, we wanted to do something special. It's very hard in this world to try to stump Hood with a bottle that he has not had. And, you know, we really tried to keep it to where we did something to where, hey, why don't we keep it true to us, keep it local, and let's see if Hood will find something that he likes. So we came up with none other than the Sagamore.
But not to cut you off, but for our subscribers, we're not as big as Hood, but we wanted to just let them know it's been a little hiatus for us. Like, you watched our last episode, our man Young Similac had a little issue with the Band-Aid on his face.
I had my Nelly going
wanted
on.
to let that situation clear up. It was either that or throw a Bane mask on him. So we decided to just chill. It's been a couple weeks, but now we back like we never left. All right, let's get into it.
That's it. And if we're gonna come back, we gotta come back strong. So what other way of coming back strong with bringing up one of the family, one who has been like a big homie to us since we've been trying to make this happen for y'all, man. And this has been amazing. So what we have to do when you always got the big homie on it, you gotta show them something special, man. So we did a local pick. And we did the Sagamore Rye, their first ever bottle and bond, man. So we are going to go through this review, and what better way to go through review with a man's palate who is just, I think, unmatched with a nose that, I mean, I got a German Shepherd. And
you praise him. You praise him me like Jesus.
Terribly. You might got a stronger nose than him. You know what I'm saying?
The man is due. Y'all just know I didn't pay him to say all that.
Right. So Hood, man, look, man, tell us a little bit. How are you feeling about this Sagamore Bottle and Bond, man? You know, I know
I'm a readjust the show real quick because you're talking to your people like they know who I am. So I'm Jack Bigadoo, but on the street, I am known as Hood Sommelier. I've been in the whiskey game for about, I would say a decade now, but seriously showed up online about 3 years ago. And my goal is always to educate, have a good time, and create a community, create a hood of people that actually I can share this passion with. Taste just like you brothers sitting on this show right now. Taste something different, taste something new, and meanwhile, create those bonds that we don't see often in our communities. So I'm happy to be here. And as you ask, this Sagamore, like I said, I never had Sagamore. Y'all are the one who actually piqued my interest to know that it's local to your state. Y'all trying to support all those local business, which is a big deal. I'm very, very excited. Just tried because I was like, okay, what is this thing? I heard about Sagamore Spirit, and if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, they used to do MGP. That's, I think, the reason why I kind of stayed away from it.
That is correct.
They still do MGP at the current time, but they're doing an in-house project. So what they're doing is they're blending with, they have in-house and what they get from MGP to slowly just get your palate used to what's coming and you're not used to what they would get from MGP.
Now, but this one is 100%
their for this to be or to be bonded, it has to be 4 years.
This
had to be one distilling season.
Yep.
Had to be in the bonded warehouse,
Yep.
and in a chart New American Oak. and come at 100 proof. So
Yep.
though as the nerd, you understand that if before somebody can put on the bottle that is bonded, it got to be their juice. So I'm glad that I'm starting with their own juice. That shows kind of their genius on what they're about to do. So yeah, while we're going through it, y'all tell me more about it while I pour myself something,
Yeah.
so we can
absolutely,
actually
man.
see what's going on.
So, as we know, this is a rye. And, I always I'm always bouncing off to my man, Can't Get Right, AKA Nose Blind, AKA Bottle Huntress. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk a little about it. So, so here, let's tell them a little bit more about this Sagamore rye as it relates to mash bill. Because I know that when we started talking about this, we kind of felt it was kind of hard to find that mash bill. It seemed like it was proprietary, but after some research and some digging, I think we actually did find the mash bill for this particular bottle and bond, man. So let's tell the family about it.
So really quick background, like Jack said, not to get too nerdy, but Maryland rye, and you have Pennsylvania rye. Maryland rye, essentially, the reference is based upon the amount of rye that's in the mash bill. Maryland rye is considered, a more subtle and a softer rye, but that's because usually it's 95% rye and then 5% something else, wheat, malted barley, corn, whatever. So this one, from what we've done, a little bit investigative research, there's a blend of high rye and low rye. The high rye is 95.5 mash bill. The low rye is 52% rye, 43% corn, so barely rye, and then 5% malted barley. That's, like you said, it is proprietary, so it's not 100%, but we're fairly certain that's accurate.
So 95.5.
Yeah.
Well, the blend. So they have the high rye, low rye. The low rye is the barely rye, and then the high rye is 95.5.
I really am. I really do like Sag. Like I've had the double oak for the Sagamore. I've had a couple of the other brands. They to me are really becoming a very decent, very stable distilling company as far as the spirits they've been putting out. I'm enjoying their brand. That's why
Very underrated. And they actually, I just actually saw a review. They have their 8-year rye out.
But that's MGB.
That is
Yeah. They're making
So
big noise in a short amount of
I have a
time.
problem usually with reviewing bottles that are MGB because it's like
tell us a little bit more about it.
because I feel like the problem with MGB, especially if it's not blended, is that I can find somebody else who have the same exact juice. It's like we all go to Sam's Club and you say, "Oh, I got chicken," and I say, "Well, I got chicken too," and it's like we all got the same chicken because it comes from the same place. Now, if you come home and you say, "Oh, I made you jerk chicken, but I just didn't cook the chicken," I'll be like, "Oh, okay, we all got the same chicken, but y'all's got some seasoning into it or went through a different process again to make it what it is." So when somebody has MGP, I'm always very curious because I always say good MGP juice that is sold out there is 100% showing the strength of the blender, right? Because you have to have an amazing nose, an amazing palate to turn MGP into something else that it almost make it hard for other people to know that it is MGP.
So I want to say there was another channel. I think it was it's Bourbon Night with I forget the couple's name, but
Yes.
they mentioned something about it was actually the Sagamore's mash bill and their stuff, but all MGP did was
Okay. So they went a la carte. They didn't just buy it. They chose. I mean, I know MGP does it for people that are serious about what they're trying to build because they're like, okay, we know the mash bill we want. Because MGP, from what I understand, have their standard mash bill that you can go buy.
Right.
And it's already there. It's ready. And it's for people that want something quick, something fast. because they want to finish that into something else. So they're like, oh, we already know what we want. We're just going to finish it. But there is a few people that I know of, a few brand out there that chose the mash bill, and Smoke Wagon is part of them.
Okay.
So the original Smoke Wagon that was blended was a standard MGP, but they requested a specific mash bill for their cotton filter, the Desert Jewel, and so I can see how them being around. I'm assuming they've been in business more than 4 years.
Yeah.
Getting their own MGP the way they wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've been around a good little bit. And I think that's probably why, because of their popularity, they're trying to get into the do it ourselves space. You know, because again, when I went out for this particular bottle, and mainly you could get this bottle in this local area, you can get it pretty much in most liquor stores here. But you know, that penny proof that everybody was kind of going to the distillery for, but you can tell they've been doing that for quite a while. So they've been building what I consider to say is a very, very popular fan base. You know, the Whiskey Thieves, which is like one of the things that they're big on with their Sagamore partnerships. So they're definitely building a base that they're really starting to create some grassroots rumbles and becoming a really popular, I think, brand. And hopefully this particular bottle will again put them a step up to start rivaling some of the other companies that are putting out rye. They want to be known to be the go-to rye distillery. That is like one of their missions. So far,
the nose on this definitely is impressive. The nose is.
You get a little bit of sweetness from I'm assuming that's the low rye corn.
Like a light brown sugar.
It is bready, fruity, not even spicy on the nose like an average rye will be. It's very bready and fruity.
I want to say you had mentioned something about this when we were chopping it up before about the different kinds of rye.
Yeah,
I guess there
is something called a baker's rye, and that type of baker's rye is almost like you mix your whiskey, almost feel like it was fresh bread that you're smelling.
Okay.
So that's what it reminds me of is you just get that beautiful, just bready nose, just chewy, almost savory, like you can chew on it from your nose already. You feel like you can chew on it. No spice, you know, a little bit of baking spice coming on the nose, but mainly fruity. Might be of apple, brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, not even, you know, baking spice, more like cinnamon.
I'm getting that hard candy. What used to be that hard candy? It's not Lifesavers. It's the other Jolly Rancher. It's like that I get like that apple Jolly Rancher. You know, like the green one.
Okay.
A little bit of that green Jolly Rancher to go with
because of their sourness. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah,
well, let's give it a taste.
Yes, man. Let's pour it up. Oh yeah, that is delightful.
That's a strong rye.
Yeah, that is delightful.
It's not what I expected on the front. It's definitely what I expected on the back, but not what I expected on the front. Most rye give you almost that tickleness right in the middle palate. You get a little bit of that baking spice where you're like, okay, I'm having some rye right now, and then the finish is a little warm. Give you a little bit of that spiciness, but this rye is fully just sweet on the front, almost creamy and very corn and creamy on the front. And if you chew it a little bit around your mouth, you get a little bit of that maltiness in, but no spice till you actually swallow. So it's on the back of your palate that you feel all, you know, that, because I expect rye to be a little temperamental, low spicy, give a little kick to it, especially 95.5 side. You're like, okay, but you don't get that. It's very enjoyable in the front, almost will fool you a little bit as a bourbon till you actually goes down and then you feel the rye.
I think it's funny, right? I feel a little bit like I've been fooled again because the sweetness and the smell is not what I'm getting in the taste.
Correct.
You definitely get all of that rye spice. I'm getting it, but I do now, having it's been sat on me a while, I do get that late tingle because it's sitting right on the front of my lip. Like now that I've sitting on it a few times, I can feel it on the front of my lip, like that light warmness right there, almost like a little bit of a, you know how you ever like bit on your lip for a long amount of time and then you let it go and you can just kind of
Anybody
a little bit of that.
getting something floral?
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah, like herbal.
It reminds me of like fresh cut grass or lavender.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Like that when I go on the corner of it. Now that I had a taste and my mouth is kind of my palate is now emerged with it. All this, the spiciness, brown sugar is normal now, but now the floralness of it is coming back up.
So family, this is what I mean when I say you are with a master in his own class. The man has pulled out flowers out here, not just any type, lavender flowers. You hear me? Like that's the nose, the taste that you're getting. This is the master class that you're getting right now from a brother who has gone out in the world and has really spent his time in the game. Like that's crazy to me, right? That's just ridiculous.
But do me a favor, like when you tasting it, take a taste. Once you take a swig in, now nose it right away.
I try and keep my mouth open a little bit.
You see how all them brown sugars, we get all them, phenols of those oil of them sugars disappear, and all you get is more like that grassy kind of more.
He mentioned fresh cut grass. I was like,
like you remind me of
grass or whatever.
Yeah, like fresh in the dead summer. You just cut your grass and you come outside and sit. That's what
like a light hay.
Yeah.
This is when you did that, because I guess it desensitized your nose.
It desensitized it. You kind of take all that thing away away. Almost that spiciness is still in the back of your palate. So you now can smell only the deeper, nose versus actually just the top of your.
That was the trick right there. Didn't know that.
Try
we'll be using
like
that.
a bigger glass. Just see if the surface is bigger, will it change how I nose it?
Let me see.
Tricks.
All y'all using Glencairns, right?
Yeah. And you using a different glass. That's why I ask you particularly.
Oh, you got the New Orleans. Okay.
Yeah, I got the New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you,
the only way I
you
can
lose
do
that
that
sweetness after you find that taste and do that. I don't even find the.
Yep, the sweetness
sugar
disappears
now.
right away. All you get now is, because obviously your brain is tricked now. All you get now is that one. You no longer, what you used to disappears.
I get a little bit of oak in it. I mean, you're going to find that, but
you know what? So, Bud, you brought this up before, an empty glass and nosing an empty glass. It's actually it really does work, man. It really works nosing an empty, man. You do get a lot more flavoring.
I would tell you something. If this is the first time you're having any whiskey, and I've learned this from a friend of mine in Scotland that actually writes for Whiskey Exchange. And what he does is, when he gets a spirit to review, he goes through 5 processes. So he will nose it. He will nose it and let it sit for another hour. Come back, nose it again, to be able to be fair about the nose. Then you'll have it neat. Then you will have it with water, and preferably, if you can, water from the terroir. So if it's if a Kentucky juice, he wants Kentucky water, because he doesn't want to lose the integrity of the whiskey. Because
proof is in the barrel proof.
So
I was just watching the episode. I think you had a couple days ago. You were talking about to keep it consistent. Use Isla water. Yep.
Yeah, it's because if you stay with the terroir, you will not lose. Because think about it, the original mash is done with a specific water. So that water is the integrity of the whiskey to begin with. So if you keep up with that water, you're not gonna lose the integrity of the whiskey. You're still just proofing it down. So he would do that, and then he will have it on ice. And then he will leave the original cup of the neat one that he had it. He will leave it overnight for 24 hours and come back to it. And that's the time where he do the final nose before he write anything about the spirit, because he want to know first how, you know, how does he make you feel if you had it immediately or if you had it after it sat out for a little bit, or all the phenols and all the hormone, all the things that you're getting on your nose kind of affecting you. If you walk away from it for an hour and back, how does that go? Then obviously with water will always proof it down. He will always take a sip, drip water, take a sip, drip water all the way till it's empty. The reason why is because he want to break down the whiskey all the way to, if you can, 20% alcohol. So at that time, you almost don't taste the alcohol. You only taste the note or whatever the whiskey is giving you at that time. Then obviously on ice, because let's say I have a whiskey neat, and then you have it on ice, we two can come out and say, this is great, this is bullshit. That's pretty much it. So he to write a fair review on a whiskey, and that's the reason why I'm also a little, you know, sometimes on YouTube I feel like it's harder to actually tell all about a whiskey, as I feel like if I have it neat, I will always add water, and then I'm always tempted to put it on ice to go, okay, if you're somebody who doesn't just like things, can you put it on ice? And he actually will write in his review that he challenges you to actually put it in your favorite mixer. So if you're a Jack and Coke person, or if you're an orange juice person, he challenges you now, the reader, to put in your favorite spirit to see how you make it into a cocktail, because bartenders can also tell you something completely different about a spirit, because I know a lot of bartenders that will tell you, oh, I only use Wild Turkey 101 because it's so and so, and somebody be like, oh, I'll never put that in a mixer, I'll only have it neat.
Was he a master blender or master distiller before?
No, he's actually a master barrel curator.
Okay,
because so actually they go do barrel picks for Whiskey Exchange.
Who the lady that's at Bullet, Nate,
Ebony Major.
Ebony Major. She said a lot of the same things, you know, about how she tastes, like she would water it down, I mean, heavily, but then she also was like, I recommend, you know, an old fashioned, like things, I mean, basically exactly the same things that you were just talking about.
The science have never changed, right? Yeah. The science is still the same. Everybody have their style of doing it. Like me, if a brand is paying me to review their stuff, I'm not gonna give them a half or, you know, or just bullshit review. It's like, yes, your whiskey may be trash, but I can actually come and say, hey, I've had it sitting, I've had it with water, I've had it with ice, and I made my favorite cocktail with it. And then it's like, here, no, here, somewhat okay, here, maybe not so great, but here is shining. So maybe my recommendation would be, you can advertise your whiskey, and like you see a lot of brand, and y'all don't know why a few brands do this, they will give a little tag on their whiskey and give you a recommended cocktail. Yeah. Did y'all ever wonder why they do that?
No, I just thought it was just
that's because they're trying to tell you, even if you don't like us, maybe try us in a cocktail. We may taste better for you.
Nice, that's what's up. I never knew. Man, I never knew that. That's dope, man. So look, you know, as you all know, we love in our community, we in the culture, we love to rate. You know, we big fans of hip hop. You know, we love the source, so we do what's called the What We Drinking 5-bottle rating. And you know, it's with this being none other than we talking hood. We definitely want hood to get that 5-bottle rating. And here's our criteria for fans who's just joining us. Our 5-bottle rating is simple. We rate based on price. We rate on the look of the bottle, the nose, the palate, the taste, and then we got one other, and that is, can you bring it to the cookout? That means, can you bring it to that barbecue? We indoors now, so can we bring it to that Christmas event? Can we put that bottle down, and it's a bottle that everybody's drinking up? Or is it the bottle be like, hey man, who brought the SAG? You know what I mean? So they know you don't get
I brought the SAG.
You know what I mean? Who brought this to the cookout?
Right.
You know what I mean? So we rate that 1 to 5, man. So we're going to start off with our guest, Hood. What is it that you give this bottle with the what we drinking 5 bottle rating? Oh, with the MSRP being at $60. We go MSRP. We never talk about the secondhand.
So $59.99.
$59
Right.
for this particular spirit.
$59.99. Okay. If it's $59.99, it's for sure coming to the barbecue. Because this is the bottle I'll probably bring to the people that kind of like whiskey, but don't know if there is something better out there. I'm not gonna bring this to the group of my pro whiskey drinkers because this is just a teaser for them. It doesn't have a depth of complexity for them to go, okay, we're gonna sit down and powwow around this bottle to figure
Now, is
it
that,
out.
I mean, not to cut you off, but is it because I know that theirs is right at 4 years. You know, it's not I know other bottling bonds sometimes 13 years and stuff like that. So you think it's more so because it's on the youngest side of the bottling bond?
It's the taste profile. For me, it's pretty straightforward. It's enjoyable. So something enjoyable if I'm gonna meet with y'all in real life right now, I'm not bringing the SAG.
Okay.
I'm bringing your stuff that I know you have to ask me what the fuck. You have to ask me how, where, how, or what you're trying to do to me right now. You know, among whiskey drinkers, with your pros, you always want to bring something to one up your friend. Say, okay, you thought you taste this. I'm sure y'all do it when y'all get together.
Oh yeah, when you look at it, like,
we all do that. But to the barbecue, you know, Uncle John be drinking whiskey his whole life. He tell you he knows everything about whiskey, but you know he gonna drink this one like he was water because he knows you always got good whiskey. Auntie's there, she probably want, you know, some whiskey and Coke. You have the people you playing on the spade table.
You talk about the cookout.
Yeah, you know, you're on a spade table and everybody's out sitting out here talking, yeah, I had me a little old fashioned the last time. I bet this whiskey good. You almost people that could enjoy. So it will go to the cookout for sure. It will also, you know, you can take it almost everywhere. It's not too strong. It's not too low. It's right there to be enjoyable. So you get, for me, 3.7 right there. Right, 3.5, 3.7 is where I'll put it. Price is decent, $59.99 for 4-year-old juice. For me, I'll maybe push a little bit. $49.99 is where I'll put that bottle. You know, $10 less. Under 50 is where this bottle I'll put that. If it was under 50, definitely rate much higher because everybody definitely can put their hand on it. And obviously, you can compare it to a bunch of rye that are 4-year that are bonded. Obviously, that are under 50.
Right.
That are there. I appreciate the innovation of low rye, high rye, but no one cares when they taste it. They just want to know if it tastes good. Only the nerds like us care about low rye, high rye, you know, how is it blended? It's like, don't tell me about the labor pain. Show me the baby, right? That's what the consumer is looking for. Is it good? So if it's good enough for me to actually put in my juice, put it out there in my red cup, give my uncle so he think I'm still doing well in life, and play spade with 3.7, and he will come to the barbecue with me.
That's it.
All right, bud, take it to you, man. Come on, Bloodhound.
You got on the rate, bro.
Well, I mean, since it's young as their first run in there, and it's local for us, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah. The color, the taste.
Very high expectation.
I'm gonna be a little biased because it's hometown, so 3.5.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead, young Similac. I'm gonna be honest with you. For this one, for me, And y'all know me, man. I like my stuff not to kick me in my face. I don't want it to hurt me in my chest when I get. I like it nice and lean with me. And I have to say, it did that for me perfectly. And the price is right where I would spend my money because this is Maryland. You know, being in this area, the prices of bottles out here are crazy because there's no laws out here. It's like the Wild West on bottles out here. So that bottle price sits for me pretty comfortably, you know, given the market of things around here. So, and as far as Cookout's concerned, look, I love old school bottles, that Western feel, I love it. And as it just taste, look, and the Cookout, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. This goes to the Cookout with me. I think it goes perfectly because I know for a fact most of my family members are mixers. They mix everything. It doesn't even matter if it does taste good straight, they're gonna mix it. They just need to do it, right? And I think this is one that it fine, and especially because it's a rye, this will mix perfectly with a lot of stuff that I would introduce them to. Like I would put a spin on the mix, and I could see this being the one. Just like how, you know, everybody loves strawberry Henny to go to any function. I could probably put this up against the strawberry Henny as a cocktail. You know, let my man Bottle Hunters make the cocktail with the Sag Rye. I think it'll slap
You lose to
everybody
the
in
strawberry
the
Henny, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah,
slap
that-
him in the face. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a tough one. Not to cut you off.
No.
For me, I'm gonna be the stingiest one, even though I am biased. I do dig the bottle. Like it's like a shield, like a coat of arms, you know, like right. But for me, it's still great. Like I want to lick the glass. The smell of it, you know, going back to what Bud had you know, and Jack was talking about, was sniff the glass after, you know, you've already consumed the spirit. This I definitely want to lick the glass.
Do you feel like a cake empty? Like a cake
No, that's the bread.
I was just about to start strawberry shortcake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I get at the end of it, strawberry shortcake.
it's amazing. I go with 3.25.
Okay.
3
You know,
1/4.
Hill, you ain't got to be very different from us.
I
It's
do,
okay if
yeah.
y'all agree on the same thing.
He knows me well, right?
It's okay if y'all agree on the same thing.
It's good.
He's
He's the Simon
definitely
Cowell of the group.
the antagonist right there. He's got to be different.
We
Right.
we can take your ass nowhere.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly, man. But look, you know, we wouldn't be a channel, we wouldn't be a review. You're sitting among a great, amongst us young Padawans trying to become, you know, head of the class. But we had to compare this with another bottle and bond that we felt was right within that wheelhouse. With this being SAG's first ever bottle and bond rye, we had to say, okay, what's another bottle and bond that's out there? That's a rye that's been in the game. How does it compare? What do we feel, right? Is it really something where they got some more work to do, or have they hit their stride and something like, okay, man, companies beware. They got something that they're hitting the ground running with. And we decided to hit with none other than the Rittenhouse Bottle and Bond Rye. Bud, go ahead, hit them with the bottle so they can see what the fam can see what we're talking about. So we have gotten the Rittenhouse Bottle and Bond there. This is what our comparison is. So fellas, we're gonna basically same thing. We're just gonna nose it, taste it. We're gonna see how we feeling about what we know to be a well-known rye, and give our thoughts on how we feel the SAG is compared to something that's been.
But let's be fair, price wise.
Oh yeah, it's a
difference?
$30 price.
$29.99 versus $59.99. So there's a $30 difference
That is true.
between these two rides.
That's true. Which means my expectations are far higher for the SAG if I'm spending an extra 30 beans. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
And
fair.
that's the statement I was making.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
That there is some rye of that same genre that are much lower in price. That may or may not stand where we want it to be.
Yeah, but that's fair. And also, like, so the Rittenhouse is Heaven Hill,
It's heavy.
Right.
I am a fan of Heaven Hill.
but Rittenhouse is supposed to be, you know,
It's the,
Pennsylvania. That's the roots.
That was the original part of it that came into Heaven Hill.
I can say, just starting on the nose,
On the nose, not comparable.
it's not.
no. Nowhere near as
The
sweet.
Sag is
No,
just,
nowhere near. It's almost faint on the nose.
Get
You
more.
have
I
to
get
go-
more
you have to go
ethanol in
deeper
there.
Yeah.
it's
Feel
alcohol.
more ethanol, more alcohol
Definitely
in
more
it.
alcohol I'm getting in this.
Over alcohol and a little faint of sherries. The little
So
faint
it
of
used to
sherry.
be the Pennsylvania rye when they talked about Maryland versus
Yep.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania was supposed to be the high rye, but they said with Heaven Hill, it's changed.
It's still a high rye, but the level of it is a little
Yeah,
different.
it's not like I want to say Pennsylvania rye. They said, they say Pennsylvania rye, but it's more so it's like 100%
Isn't that
rye.
your Pennsylvania rye? Isn't that the old Overholt?
Is it?
Dad
mean,
and Dad's hat.
Yeah.
yes,
yeah.
Dad's hat is correct.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
like
Pennsylvania.
old Overholt is the original Pennsylvania rye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that and that's high rye? That's like one.
Yeah. That thing is, and maybe that's what we should have compared it to. the
Folks go
original.
crazy with the
But-
old Overholt.
But I didn't see a bottle and bond old Overholt.
There is an old Overholt bottle, but
Yeah, I just hadn't seen it in months around here.
because they released it in PA and Ohio the first time it came out.
Okay.
Who said
Okay.
sherry?
Me.
Come on, man.
But I think he plants the seed, and then I'm like, but no,
and that's the reason why usually I don't tell people anything when
I
I'm
know.
closing, because it's just gonna trick your brain. And I
It is, it
apologize.
does.
I mean, this one has a low mash bill of rye in it at 51.
it's barely
51%.
barely rye.
I
Yeah.
will say, I know we didn't talk about it on the last one, but it has the similar legs on it, like what the Sag did.
Same thing,
Like,
yeah.
it
But I mean,
was
they're
like-
bottle and bond,
Yeah.
same proof.
That's
Legs
it.
equal proof, so
Yeah.
they bottle and bond.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
All right, it's kissing time.
Go ahead, come on. But here, come on, man. Say your line, man. Come on, let's get
Open the
it.
lips, and pass the gums. Look out, gullet. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
What up, man?
So this is my first time having the Rittenhouse.
Same.
I don't know about anybody else.
Same. It's my first. And I will say that the initial taste, when it first hits my palate, was smoother than the Sag. But it disappointed me on the way on that second to that finish. It's flat nose. Like it literally
It's the opposite of the sack.
Yes.
On the back palate.
The front
The back
palate,
end.
you get that tingling of the rye,
Yeah.
and at the end, it falls flat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Interesting.
watery to me.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
it's-
saying.
That's that flatness.
No
right?
mouthfeel.
That's that flatness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I'm referring to. Like it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's-
It fall flat.
Yeah.
But you can get all the flavors in the mouthfeel stays there.
You can.
I mean, after when you're done even drinking it, you can still feel that tingling on your tongue
Mhm.
from it. But at the end of it, it's like nothing is happening. It's the opposite from the side. The side, the front was like, just nothing happening, just some sweetness. And then the back is like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah. It's like a.
I got a little funk in it after I tried smelling it the second time.
Yeah.
Got like a little
That's
tartness to it.
that's actually the real smell that you're having right there, because now that your mouth is, and I tell people always think the first nosing is where it is after you're done having the spirit and you go back nosing it, that's where you get deeper
Yeah.
things on.
It might get like a nut, like a nuttiness. Pause. Like a nuttiness. Had to finish that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a. I don't want to say it's like a cashew, but almost like.
So you are getting the what I like to call the Heaven Hill signature. So all Heaven Hill products have that weird I like to call it, I don't want to sound like that guy, but I want to call it a mix of marzipan and cashews.
That's the
what
heavy.
you get.
That's Elijah Craig, right?
That's Elijah, exactly. You
Yeah.
get that Heaven Hill signature.
Oh,
When he mentioned it, I was like, that's where I've tasted it before.
Correct.
Black's getting dangerous. He's getting dangerous.
Right.
The Heaven Hill
Pilots.
signature, because all Heaven Hill product have that weird nutty signature that you get right at the edge of it. If you're somebody who pays attention, you always catch it. Doesn't matter whatever it is that you get from Heaven Hill. I don't know if it's in their corn. I don't know if it's in their malt. I don't know if it's in their rye. But something in what they do I'm pretty sure. I think it's the type of barrel they use.
You done made young Similax
Listen,
little sippy cup his day, right? You done co-signed.
Listen, we in the episode now. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm a family. Listen, I'm gonna be on a separate Patreon, giving my expertise. It's like, yeah, man. No, yeah, that let me know I'm working in the right direction, man. That's amazing. I will
really quick for me. You know, there's the bias, yeah, but I don't think now MSRP factor that in.
Got to.
This isn't the SAG to me.
No.
You know, I'm not trying to rate it or anything.
I would tell you right now. If I was doing a blind right now, I would definitely say by the taste that the SAG was more expensive than the Rittenhouse, just by the taste and the nose. I'll be like, oh, this is more expensive whiskey. This took some thinking. It took something special than this. This
maybe that's
is
the blend.
Very simple. It's as simple as it comes. It does not drink bottle and bond. It drink 43 for me.
Yeah, because it's watery. It ain't got no body to it.
Yeah, it literally drink like the lowest of what is required for bourbon, which makes me feel or make me think that the Rittenhouse has more corn in it than malt, because the chewiness we get from the SAG come from the malt.
Facts. Yeah.
I mean, the man still saying 51, 39, 51 rye, 39 malt, 10 corn.
But either they use a different type of malt, but I will tell you right now, it does not even look like there was enough malt, enough body to it. I mean, when you actually shaking those two together, if you look at it viscosity wise, I do not think that this is equal to this when it comes to viscosity. This definitely, just like Bud said, seem watered down. But it's bottle and bond, which means it did respect the same rules. But also we have to keep in mind about temperature and barrel. We don't know which type of char level they used.
Which you talking about, Rittenhouse or SAG? I know SAG, they said it was high char. Now I don't know if it's like alligator level.
Correct.
They did say it was high.
Okay.
So we have to keep that in mind as well. That chart of the barrel give it more body. It gives it more of that what I like to call it, that caramelizing, and all the molecule get more caramelized there if it's more heavy charred. So they did something there. They did something different.
Really quick, Hood. So another thing that we do on the channel, I like, if I'm sipping anything, just going back to my pops days, when he was sipping, it was E&J, it was Hennessy, it was, whatever. But he always was listening to some old school tunes or whatever, right? So we got a rye whiskey, your Sagamore. If you were to sit and you have a glass of Sagamore bottle and bond, is there a specific, genre of music that you're gonna listen to, specific album, specific artist? For me, I can set it off if you want, or we can
go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see.
So,
let's see what you got.
The rye is spicy, right? So for me, I need a little bit of kick to so I'm gonna listen to something like Lil' Kim. She's spicy, and I'm old, right? So something like that, Foxy Brown, even new school Cardi B, something like that. I'm gonna listen to that while I'm sipping on my Sagamore rye bottle and bond. That's me.
Okay. All right, Bud. What you got, bro? What you
Man, that was kind of hard to follow up on that one. Let me see what I can come with. See, to me, that's something I can sit back and drink. So I'm gonna go with maybe a little Try.
Oh, but that's chill though.
This is chill to me. It's 100 proof. I like them hot.
I'm gonna jump right behind Bud and just say that for me, this is not the alcohol that will make me want to hear something that will pump me up. This is, I don't feel like drinking anything cast strength. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have some chill in the back. For me, it will be some Ed Sheeran that'll be playing in the back there.
I like it.
And just listen to some Ed Sheeran and just having some, because for me, honestly, this is not the whiskey that will get me all hyped up. It's more the whiskey that I had a long week, but I don't want anything major. I still got shit to do. I'm gonna drink on this. I just want something that have enough body and flavor.
No spice. All right.
Hey, you know what? I like that because when you say Ed Sheeran, I can hear if anybody was a big fan of Sons of Anarchy, and I am because I'm an avid bike rider, you know, that Make It Rain by Ed Sheeran with that strumming that guitar, just leaning. That's a good one, Hood. That's a good one. But you know, it's funny. I'm kind of in between both of you guys because when I'm sipping on this, all I can hear right now in my head right now, and literally the beat is thumping right now. It's Jadena, My Tribe. Like, this is my tribe. That string with the thump in it, just.
There's only one pretty boy in the group, and you're gonna go and call it Jadena. That is the only pretty boy in the group. I believe he's a classic man. So
yeah, I'm just saying, man, that right there, you know, who you with, you know what I'm saying? That's it's just that vibe. It's just that, you know what I mean?
Just say we make you feel like you in your tribe. That's different.
Yeah, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
There's only one pretty boy in the group. Let him have his moment. Don't try to take away.
That's cool. I'm with that, man. So, hey, look, man, listen, man, you all have been a witness to something special. I can say that we've just started to get into the spirit of, you know, getting in guests. We know we've all been in this pandemic together, but, you know, we're really trying to get into the spirit of, you know, getting with our family, our other family within the world of whiskey, our reviewers. We couldn't have started this off any better. It's pretty much downhill from here as far as I'm concerned.
Don't say that.
Yes.
Don't say that. People gonna hear him and go, "Oh, that guy your brother is." Hey,
don't be modest. Like, to be honest, we look at it like this. Like, we talked about this before, you know, off camera. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you're very true to yourself, that, you know, you embrace your culture, your heritage. We thought that was super dope.
It's
and
dropping
you know,
tonight.
on top of that,
tonight.
you know,
I'm from Africa.
Yep.
Tonight. A new one is dropping tonight.
Even on top of that, though, you know your shit. So for us, this is a privilege. It's an honor. It's a pleasure for us to be in your presence.
Facts. We're
gonna give you your flowers, you know, that type of thing, because you know what you're talking about. We just here, you know, for in your space.
Unless your name is Bud. Bud knows what he.
Bud does.
Yeah, Bud always look in the glass like somebody's dad. Like, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna tell you.
I've been at it a while, so
what's going on around here?
We appreciate it
every day, and I'm learning from you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you, you know, educating us.
It's really my pleasure. You don't find a lot of brothers just sitting around and really doing a deep dive in a spirit, and also having that spirit of camaraderie, right?
And come February, right? We might have something in the works.
Oh yeah, no, in February I'm already talking to other people around, okay. And I want to do some special so we can come all together. First, show the world that we are, you know, first we united, because in this industry, in this quote unquote influencer industry, the problem is most people are not willing to, you know, pass on the knowledge or, you know, create that tribe among ourselves where we actually are helping each other do better, giving each other opportunities to do better. And it's my goal to always get enough of us in one screen so every brand can look at us and say, oh, there's not one of them. It's not just Hood Somebody, or it's not just this brand. There's plenty of them that are doing this, and they know exactly what the heck they're talking about. And that's what I want. Last year I posted, don't talk about minority or Black influencers. Give opportunity to those influencers so they can show you what they're about, right? So let's not talk about it. Let's not make posts about it. Give us the opportunity. So if I get a chance and I have this platform, I'm gonna give us the opportunity. We're gonna be on Twitter. We're gonna be on YouTube. We're gonna be on Facebook, and all of us gonna be there, and we're gonna chop about what we planned about, and we're gonna tell the world exactly where we stand, unapologetically us.
Man, that's fact, man. That's fact, man.
Only way to do it.
We looking forward to it, man. So Hood, man, we thank you so much for joining us, man. Great, man, blessing us with your presence, your knowledge, your wisdom. Let me tell y'all, man, when he says Hood Sommelier, it's because he knows his shit. That's why he's a sommelier, but he from the hood, so don't think he's playing these games, man. So, man, we appreciate you, man. Listen, like, share, and subscribe. If you are not following this brother, you tripping like you crazy, man. Go check out his
Must be.
He's on IG, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever there is a social outlet, he is there giving out tons of knowledge. You want to get smarter, you need to be following him. That's what we're doing. We're trying to follow the track. We appreciate you having us with you, my brother, having us on our show. Thank you, man. As always, family, I'm King Napes, Bud and Hill, special guest, Hood Sommelier. And as always, family, please, please, please drink responsibly.
Appreciate you.
But more importantly, just drink. Love.
Love.